All right, the Raiders just got a really nice, pleasant surprise. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to teams that are just kind of under the radar and don't get the love nationally like they should. That's how it was for the Lions for a long time. So if you look on our channel, we do a lot of Raiders. It's just kind of fun to talk about and see if they can rebuild this thing. Plus the Raiders, man, I had a Marcus Allen jersey when I was a kid. Whole uniform. Bought it out of JCPenney catalog. That's right. Took, 5 to 6 weeks to get to you. And it's like, man, let's go. So let me know in the comments. Speaking of that, we do this from time to time. Let me know your all-time favorite player, all-time favorite Raiders player. It can't be an obvious one. Can't be Marcus Allen, Max Crosby. Give me a little sneaky one that you're like, I used to love this guy. Let me know in the comments. And it's great because everyone looks at it like, oh, yeah, I do remember that guy. Okay, here's the pleasant surprise that you got to be excited about if you are a Raiders fan. You got a lot of needs, got a lot of things you have to work on this offseason. First thing is quarterback. We get that. But outside of quarterback, offensive line. So let's just get better on the offensive line. Well, here's what is nice. And there's a couple pleasant surprises. I'll get to the first one. First one is PFF ranked the top available free agents. In the top available free agents, and this is just the top 3 in each category, there are real players on the offensive line that are going to be free agents. Look at Trey Smith, Jenkins from the Bears, Tyron Smith, Ronnie Stanley, Cam Robinson. They're actual legit players that you can improve overnight with your offensive line. And this does not happen on a year-to-year basis. Like, seriously, I know it sounds weird, but if you ever played Madden and you're playing like franchise mode and you go and you're like, that's what it's like when you're like looking at these guys and like, oh, he's a 78 rating, and you're trying to sign guys, and that's what free agency is actually really like. There's not all these home run guys out there, but in your case, there's actually good free agent offensive linemen that you can help improve your team immediately. That's surprise number 1. Surprise number 2, let me get to this here, is Pete Carroll. We all talking about his coaches that he's bringing. And we'll get back to those free agents in just a second. But Pete Carroll keeps talking about all the coaches that he's bringing over. There's shuffling in that. One of the things that just kind of went under the radar that's a little surprising is that he was able to grab his vice president of coaching operations, Matt Capuro, from the Seattle Seahawks. This is just a quick little line in this article right here. The vice president of coaching operations, his job is for the year-round NFL franchise calendar, OTAs, mini camps, drafts, keeps everybody in line. He was with Pete Carroll every single day at USC and Seattle, and he was able to sneak him out of there and get him to the Raiders. It's like, oh, okay. You don't think of those little moves. So Pete Carroll, I think if we just were honest and got away from the fact that he's older, right? So it's like, dude, because in our minds, we want to build this thing out for the next 20 years. And it's like, dude, how long can you really coach? It doesn't matter. What matters is this guy's getting a real professional, mature franchise together, building the base. So if he's here for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I don't know what that looks like. It doesn't matter. He's going to establish the Raiders as a real franchise, the one that's sustainable, whether he's here or not. I feel like someone else could take over and he could even establish somebody underneath him to do it. But it's these types of moves that you don't really think of that are really helpful. And it's like, dude, yeah. And every team has it. And I'm sure the previous regime had it, right? Like, duh. But it's nice to see. Now, here's kind of what's another little sneaky surprise that I kind of like is Daniel Jeremiah did his first mock draft. Everybody's doing a mock draft, and there's all different ways to do it, but it's pretty clear that the Raiders are like, you know what? We got to get a quarterback. And by the way, I'm going to get to Max Crosby in a second too. Raiders are like, we got to get a quarterback. We all know it. And let's just be honest about what's available out there. You've got Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. Those are the 2 top ones that could change your franchise. They could actually start, could actually have something go on. But you got to draft. You have to move up to draft them. However, in Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft, one of those quarterbacks falls to 6. And you're like, all right, okay, let's go. But you can't be like banking on that. That's what the Raiders did last year, and it's just like a wasted year. I mean, it really was. You have to have a quarterback. So the other options are Sam Darnold, which I don't hate, but I also kind of hate. Russell Wilson, I don't like. Justin Fields, I don't like. You could try to get J.J. McCarthy if Sam Darnold returns to the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, that's your options. Or go with what you had last year. So it does feel like you need to go get a quarterback. So here's what's great about that is he could fall to you, which is like, oh, that's interesting. So let me know in the comments on that one. But I think you're going to have to get aggressive and go up and get a quarterback instead of waiting around, hoping that one falls to you. Because what if they don't? Then it's another year. It's like, let's just go for it and go get somebody. So here's PFF's mock draft. You've got Travis Hunter to the Tennessee Titans. Now, right there, the Titans, let's assume they take quarterback. Well, there's one quarterback gone. And then the Cleveland Browns take another one. 1-2. I mean, seriously, that's what we're looking at here. If not there, the Giants are going to take a quarterback. Man, it's like, hey, we will trade you the first pick, Titans. We have to have a quarterback. Because then it's Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, love it. Will Johnson. Love you, Will Johnson. We're here in Michigan, so know all about him. He's unbelievable, but a corner. So what? Need a quarterback. Speaking of defense, this is why I like Pete Carroll too. The Raiders are retaining the defensive line coach Rob Leonard. Thank you. Why do they do this? Because it's like, hey, Max Crosby, what do you want? You are the star of our team. You are everything to us. What do you want? You want the coach back? Done. I don't even know the guy. It's like, thank you, Pete. I'm going to go to my 3 best players on the current Raiders team, Max number 1, and be like, Max, what do you want? And he's like, I just want my defensive line coach back. Got it. So love that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think the Raiders are just finally resetting, getting this thing right. Antonio Pierce was just pretty painfully obvious. Unfortunately, really early, it wasn't going to work. I was like, oh, shoot. So now it's like, this is a great hire. The more I think about it, at first I'm like, okay, what is Pete Carroll, 84? No, but he's old. But I'm going to look past that because like I was just talking about, let's get he is the perfect person to lay the foundation. He's done it everywhere he goes. The guy wins. The guy wins. The guy wins. Oh my gosh. Just like Jim Harbaugh. Just like, Andy Reid. They know what they're doing and they'll get it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments and we'll see all of you on the next one.